Welcome back. I'm Alan Brooks.
And I'm Brad Winkleski.
So Brad, we've talked a lot about the media in the repositories of the backup, what platforms you can use to back up stuff. There's an underlying strategy on how you get that data or that information to these devices. And today we're going to talk about the most common one, the simplest one, file-based transactions. How, what does that mean? And I know you're going to go into the interfaces in another segment, but that's probably the most common use strategy, and it's the simplest strategy. So tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. So when you look at the term file-based backup, it is just that. It's backing up files or groups of files. And so whether you're talking about one individual Excel spreadsheet, when you talk about one Quicken database, or whether you're talking about an entire folders or group of folders, it really is that, as you mentioned, it's taking those items and sending them somewhere else to be protected. So as you said, very common nowadays. Stuff like Carbonite, Mozy, or even Mozy Pro, these are extremely common terms that are thrown around, and everybody knows about them, and they're really inexpensive, as you said. As you look at it from a business context, the most common usage for this type of software is like a remote salesperson who's always on the road, never really in one place very often. Maybe it's somebody who works full-time remotely, one of your VPs, or again, maybe one of your support staff that works out of their home. And basically the need is clear. They're not plugged into your network, and so you really can't protect them with any sort of centralized backup structure or methodology. But then again, they have critical files on their machine, perhaps their email, or again, files that they're working on, and as far as business processes. And so you need to protect them. And so again, those are the most common usage. As long as they have access to the internet, you are able to back up on a regular basis and protect those files in the event of a disaster.
Absolutely. And another thing to mention about file-based backup is it's typically the cheapest way to protect your people. It's the simplest. The interfaces are really simple. Anybody that's familiar with copy and paste, or it's just a really simple way to get folks backed up.
Yeah, and as you look at it from if you look at what that means from a managed services standpoint now too, is if you're working with a provider, what you're doing is you're not basically giving them all the data and that's it, and you don't have access to it. It literally is, you are asking them to help you ensure that all these things are backed up. When you have one or two folks, that may be enough for a one or two man IT outfit to be able to handle. But as you look at some clients, literally have 50s or hundreds. They don't want to spend their day ensuring that that's all backed up. So I know one of the things we're going to do next is actually look into the interface and kind of let you see what it looks like. So.